These are the answers to your final review. Problem number 4, solving trig equations. For 4a, we start out with the problem 3 times the tangent squared of x minus the tangent of x equals 2. Since I have a squared term and a non-squared term, I have to get everything on the same side. Now I need to factor. I factor by multiplying the first number and the last number together to get negative 6. And I want factors of negative 6 to add up to give me negative 1. That would be negative 3 and positive 2. So now I'll split the middle term up. 3 times the tangent squared of x minus 3 times the tangent of x plus 2 times the tangent of x minus 2 equals 0. Then I'll factor by grouping. I'll pull a 3 tangent of x out of the first group. And I'll pull a 2 tangent of x out of the second group. So my two factors are 3 times the tangent of x plus 2 and the tangent of x minus 1. So I have two equations that I have to think about. The tangent of x equals negative 2/3 and the tangent of x equals 1. The tangent of x equals negative 2/3 is not a special trig ratio, so I'll have to use my calculator. Tangent is negative in the second and fourth quadrant. The inverse tangent of 2/3 is 33.69. So the two solutions to this equation are going to be 180 minus 33.69 to give me 146.31 degrees, and 360 minus 33.69, which is 326.31 degrees. And now where the tangent of x equals 1, that is going to be a special angle. First, this is positive, so I'm going to be in the first and third quadrant. The angle that gives me a tangent value of 1 is 45. So both of these angles have to be 45 degrees. So one solution is 45 degrees, and the other solution is 180 plus 45 degrees, which would be 225. So these would be my four solutions. Again, we were solving on the interval from 0 to 360. 360 not included, so we needed to be in degree mode. This one solves similarly to the previous one. 2 times the tangent squared of x plus the tangent of x minus 1 equals 0. Factors of 2 times negative 1, so negative 2. That add up to give me 1. It would be positive 2 and negative 1. So split the middle term up. Pull out a 2 tangent of x from the first group. Pull out a negative 1 from the second group. My two factors are 2 times the tangent of x minus 1 and the tangent of x plus 1. And now I will create my two equations. Tangent of x equals 1/2. And the tangent of x equals -1. The tangent of x equaling 1/2 is not a special ratio. The tangent is positive in the first and fourth or third quadrant. So I'll have to use my calculator to approximate that angle. The inverse tangent of 1/2 is 26.57 degrees. So one answer is going to be 26.57, and the other is going to be 180 plus 26.57, which is 206.57. For the second equation, the tangent is negative in the second and the fourth quadrant. The angle with a tangent ratio of 1 is 45, so both of these angles will measure 45. My two solutions will be 180 minus 45, which is 135, and 360 minus 45, which is 350. Alright, for this problem, the first thing I need to do is factor out a cosine, because I have a squared term and a non-squared term. Now I'll create my two equations. I have the cosine of x equals 0, and the cosine of x equals root 3 over 2. Where the cosine of x equals 0, I know I'm going to be on a quadrant. The x value of the point represents the cosine, so where the cosine equals 0 would be 90 degrees and 270 degrees. The square root of 3 over 2 is a special ratio for the cosine. The cosine is positive in the first and the fourth quadrant. The angle that has a cosine ratio of square root of 3 over 2 is 30 degrees. So both of these angles will measure 30 degrees. One solution will be 30, and the other solution will be 330. Last problem for your solving. Cosecant squared of x minus 2 cotangent of x equals 0. Now, here I'm going to consult my identity sheet because I have two completely different trig functions. On my identity sheet, I notice that this Pythagorean identity exists. 1 plus the cotangent squared of x equals the cosecant squared of x. So I'm going to replace the cosecant squared with 1 plus the cotangent squared. So that way my equation is all cotangent. Then I'll rearrange. And now I want to factor. So factors of 1 that add up to give me -2 would be -1 and -1. Since the leading coefficient of this cotangent is 1, we can jump straight to the parentheses. So really only am concerned with one function, and that's the cotangent of x equals 1. If the cotangent of x equals 1, then the tangent of x would also have to equal 1, because they are reciprocals. The angle that has a special trig ratio of 1 for tangent is 45. And again, the tangent is positive in the first and the third quadrant. So my two solutions here would be 45 degrees and 225 degrees. Now, since I used an identity, I do need to go back and check and plug in my solutions to my original equation and make sure that they work and that they give me a value of 0 when I plug them in. You can use your calculator to do this. Both of these solutions end up working.